Okay, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be ranking my top heroes and villains. Like and subscribe, and here we go. So, in my last spot, I have Princess Leia. And to anyone that's been playing Battlefront recently, it is not a surprise to see her in last. She is getting a well-needed rework soon. Her abilities are getting completely changed. Well, some of them. Her flash grenade is getting turned into just a thermal detonator, which her flash grenade is really bad. So that was needed. And then the other two are going to be modified and buffed, I think. So she should be getting better soon. But as of now, while I'm making this video, she is definitely, no doubt, in the last spot. Just, like, don't pick her. Other than, like, for challenges and stuff. But in my next spot, I have BB9E. And BB9E he's supposed to be support, so I don't have that much of a problem with him, since he's not supposed to be, like, really good. They made him to be just kind of there, not really getting all the kills and stuff. But as a support role, he does pretty well. I mean, his Bacta support is good, although you can't really see how much you're healing your teammates. But his cable spin is alright, even though it does move them away from you. And then his smoke screen is good. It's not great, it's just good. So, in number 21 is BB9E. In my next spot, I am going to put Phasma, because her blaster could use a tiny buff. I mean, it does shoot crazy fast, but its damage is terrible, like really bad. Her extra health is good. That's a nice plus. Her staff strikes are really bulky, they need a rework, and her droid is just for campers. So she's basically just for someone who wants to camp the whole match, which I'm not a person that likes that. But in my next spot, I am putting Chewbacca. Chewbacca is really good if you are up close and personal with a bunch of other enemies. But medium to long range, just no. Like, just no. He's getting a rework. His bowcaster is getting reworked soon. So that is definitely needed. But he is just okay. He's not really a bad hero, but he's not really a good hero. So it's good that his blaster is getting reworked. Definitely needed that. In my next spot, I have Iden Versio. Iden is pretty good. Like, she is just a hero. Like, that's just like what a hero or villain should be like. Just has good damage, and on her blaster, her shock droid or whatever it's called is good. Stuns people. She's really good in some game modes, and more than others. Like Heroes versus Villains, she can just destroy in that mode because she has her droid, so she'll stun people, and then she will just be able to shoot them with her gun, her gun is really good, and it has that second shot which can't be blocked. So Iden is a pretty good hero. This is where the heroes start to get good. So in my next spot, I have BB-8. I really like BB-8. He's really fun to play as. His abilities are pretty good. I like his cable spin. I probably get the most done with that ability. His insight, or whatever it's called, is not that great. I mean, it's kind of like any other ability where you can see through walls and stuff. his roll charge is good. I like his roll charge. It's a little bulky, but you make up for that with the one hit for infantry. Um, he's a good hero if you're just looking to have fun in Star Wars Battlefront. Like, he's just he brings some fun gameplay to the game. So, I like using him. So yeah. In my next spot, I am going to have Bosk. Bosk is just like another well-rounded hero. He has range and he has close. He has close proximity, I guess. His Dioxis grenade is really good. It's much better than the Assault class, I think, has something like that. But his does so much more damage. His Predator instincts just are amazing, and every time you see a hero and you turn on Predator instincts, they all just run away because they have no chance. So yeah, just well-rounded. Overall, just really good hero. I mean, that's really it. His blaster is really good at range, so yep, he's pretty good. In my next spot, I have Lando. Lando is he's kind of unique, but he's also kind of like another average blaster hero, like well-rounded blaster hero. His smoke and sharpshooter and also his blaster go to work together really well. His disabler is okay. It's kind of like any other disabler, but I enjoy using him. He's fun to play as. So yeah. In my next spot, I am going to have Boba Fett. And Boba Fett, it can be either really satisfying or really annoying. It just kind of comes down to that. He does have the lowest health out of any hero, but he is able to fly around the map with his jetpack, so it kind of makes up for that. His concussion missile is not that good, but his other abilities, I use those all the time, and they are really satisfying if you can pull them off. So, in my next spot, I'm going to have Han. Han is really good. Like, his blaster does so much damage, and his sharpshoot ability, I'm not really that accurate with it, but if you're accurate with that, you can do so much damage. His shoulder charge is good. It knocks people over, so that it's good in Heroes vs. Villains. His detonite charge is also really good in Heroes vs. Villains. I've been knocked over tons of times with his detonite charge, and it's really frustrating because you're trying to get up, but you still can't and it does tons of damage. So his abilities are pretty good. I enjoy using him. He's fun. Wish his gun had a little bit of a better scope, but it's alright. In my next spot, I have Finn. Finn is just kind of another fun character to play as. His Deadeye ability is kind of overpowered in my opinion, because you don't even really have to be aiming at them, and you just are hitting them over and over. His other two abilities are pretty support based. I don't really like when he pulls out his pistol instead of the blaster, just because I think his blaster is much better than the pistol. But his middle ability is good. It heals the teammates, and he's pretty good. In my next spot, I have Palpatine. And Palpatine is, I think he's where he should be. He's not crazy overpowered, but he's not bad. His abilities, I don't use Palpatine that much. I mean, I started to get into him a little bit whenever he was really overpowered, but his abilities are just okay. He kind of has to be close to you to use those abilities. He doesn't have too much long range stuff, but I think he's where he should be. He doesn't just completely overpower you anymore like he was before, which is good because it was kind of frustrating whenever Palpatines were getting so many battle points. But starting off my top 10 is Obi-Wan Kenobi, the first lightsaber user on my list. He's very defensive. His stamina is crazy. His push ability is kind of clunky, but it's okay. I mean, I still use it. His mind trick is not that great. I mean, I kind of wish it was like Rey's, but it's fine as it is. His defensive charge is okay. I don't use it that much. I would just rather be up close to someone with Obi-Wan. I don't really run at people with him, but in my next spot I have Rey. And I used to not like Rey at all, but as I started to play as her more, I started to learn how to figure her out. And so now she's become one of my top heroes. Her insight ability is actually kind of overpowered. You can see basically anyone on the map wherever they are. It's just kind of overpowered. Her dash is kind of clunky, but I mean, her other abilities kind of make up for it. And then her like confusion ability or something like that is really good. Like, I cannot figure out how to play against it. So in my next spot I have Yoda, and this is where I use these heroes on probably like a daily basis, like 5-minute heroes versus villain match, and I don't like the hero that I'm using, I will usually go to one of these. Yoda has his extra health, which is definitely a plus. His dash is great for mobility. He has lots of stamina. His push is kind of short range unless you block a bunch of blaster bolts for a long time. But yeah, he's pretty good. He has a small hitbox, so that's always good. And in my next spot, I have Count Dooku. Now, a lot of people don't really like Count Dooku. I don't know why. I will agree that he does not have very good range, but I think that he makes up for that whenever he's up close to you. His lightning is good. I mean, it knocks you over and it does damage to you, so I think that's a pretty good ability. With his duelist and his exposed weakness, you can do a lot of damage. Like, you can get people in very few swings. So in my next spot I have Kylo Ren. A lot of people like Kylo Ren, like, think that he's really good. I don't know about that, but he's definitely one of the better heroes in the game. His ability loop is pretty good. He will pull you, or first he could freeze you, but I would usually pull and then freeze and then use frenzy. And doing that, you can get people really fast. Like, it's almost overpowered. But I think he's where he should be. I don't think it's really that overpowered. So yeah, he's definitely a top tier hero. I would recommend picking him for newer players. In my next spot, I have Darth Maul. And Darth Maul is definitely one of the more fun heroes to use. His lightsaber, since it's double-bladed, does extra damage because you can hit them more. His chokehold is good. I like how it kind of like throws them, and so they kind of to kind of get confused once they are thrown. His dashes are good for mobility, and his lightsaber throw is good for long range. So, pretty well-rounded hero. He's definitely fun to use. One of my favorite heroes to use. Just, you know, for, like, gameplay. You can do pretty much anything with him. But, in my next spot is General Grievous. General Grievous is another hero that is really fun to play as. He does damage faster because he's got 2 lightsabers. His abilities are really good. Like, I really enjoy using his abilities. His Claw Rush is really good because it knocks people over. Although there is a glitch right now where it'll like drain all their stamina. His other abilities are pretty good, but in my next spot I have Luke. And some people think that Luke is kind of overpowered, but I don't know if it's that bad. His ability loop is pretty good. He will push you or use repulse, and then he can dash over to you and get you again with his lightsaber strikes there. And he has one of the faster sprinting speeds in the game, which is always another plus. In my runner-up spot for this list, I have Darth Vader. In this last update, he has become pretty overpowered. So, he is getting nerfed in the next update, which is probably needed, because now he can choke you, attack, and block, all while he still has like 75% damage reduction, I think. I like his abilities. His extra health is always good, so he's definitely a kind of overpowered hero. Now in my first spot, it is not that surprising. He's still overpowered, but it's Anakin. In the last update, I think that they nerfed the wrong thing, because his damage is fine, but his ability loop is where it really gets bad. He will pull you, he will use heroic might, and then he will use passionate strike. And then if you're not finished by then, if he has what's it called? Retribution powered up, he will use that on you, and that should finish you. But that's my list. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.